Right, hello, I'm back again for another video. Should be my fourth one. This one's going to be slightly different because it's not so much about school or growing up, but more about like worries you have that come from what results in the end of school, or like what you go through going through school. Move down the way. Like what you go through going through school, and then the worries you have like as you grow up. Say you're nearing the end of college and you're thinking, I don't know what I'm gonna do, or you're worried about going to uni, doing an apprenticeship, or taking a gap year out trying to do like a side hustle or whatever. If it's confusing you on what you want to do, then maybe this is a good video for you. Right, so the first thing I want to say about this is it's like completely normal to not have like a full-blown plan on what you're going to do in the future. Like people have their hobbies, people have like, some people are more motivated to get a lot of money and then be financially free for the rest of their life, and some people have that kind of mindset where they're willing to work insanely hard between college and the next 5-10 years to make the rest of their life a lot easier. Some people see success as in fulfillment, which is personally what I see, where I don't see success so much as in money. I see it more as in how I'm going to live when I'm older. If I feel like I've taken the right choice and done the path that I wish. Say if 12-year-old me could look at where I am in 30 years time and be like, okay, that's where I wish I was, then I'd say that's the path that I've taken has been the path that I should have taken. But without further ado, I'm going to talk about like normal worries, like say you're in college, you're coming to your second year. This is me personally, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got my plan on what I wanted in the future. I've got all this stuff planned out. Like I want to take a gap year. I want to do a bunch of marine conservation in order to make sure that I have the experience I need to get into the field I want to do. But how am I going to get money to do that? That's my main issue. And especially with the sad fact that we live now in a growing world where money is harder to come by, but things cost more. It's less so you can go to your neighbours and go, can I wash your car for 50 quid? Likely they're going to say no. And quite frankly, that's not going to earn you enough. So I've been looking recently at side hustles you can get started on, like at younger age, and skills you want to build. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head because I've got like a long notes section about it, but effectively, by the looks of it, from what I've done like a research for the past few hours, a very good field to go into is called digital architecture. And it's pretty much just providing a service for a business that's going to guarantee they save money, they grow in popularity, and they grow in, their revenue and the money they earn. And I mean, it can be done in several ways. The main ways that I've seen are video editing for businesses or YouTube channels, or anyone who's wants to grow but doesn't think they have the skills to do it. It's something very easy to learn, especially if you're good with analyzing data and also creativity. Like you can look at something and it just clicks in your head that this would make it a million times better. You can just do that, and video editing's amazing for that. It's personally what I'm going to try and get into whilst I build up this like money that I need in order to hopefully financially secure myself in the next couple years before I do the field that I want to do. Secondly, what I've seen is pretty good is I mean, especially since it's growing a lot, especially this year, AI like management in terms of you provide an AI service to someone, like you automate something for a business, say they're still responding to messages and inquiries via emails, and you know waiting until someone messages them, typing a whole message out. If you can show this business who's doing that and wasting their time doing that, you can then show them that you can just build an AI thing that will automate that whole system for them, and they will 100% buy it off you. They'll 100% pay money for you to give that to them, even if it is insanely simple. And these are all skills you can learn really young. You've got no limit on how to do it, and I'm pretty sure you can probably learn all of them for free. I doubt they're capped by money too much, but and there's so many more down the digital architecture kind of road, and especially if you're looking to be financially free for a long time, then I think building the skills starting at a really simple point and slowly building up, because people have very unrealistic view of I want to be a millionaire by next year, whilst they're at their part-time job giving them £200 a month or no job at all. And realistically that's not going to happen unless you win the lottery or whatever, which thinking logically you shouldn't rely on. So I think starting with a simple step, like something more realistic, like I want to be earning £1,000 a month, and then build that up as you go. Your skills get better, you can charge more for your services, you can provide more services to people, and you're less likely to get denied because people start to know you for your services. You can charge more, you start to stack up more money, and then you get to the point where you're thinking, it's time to take a bigger step. What can I do in terms of taking a bigger step? And that's where the passion you have for what you want to do comes into it, and you kind of think, well, this is the goal I want to have in life, so how can I introduce this into the field I'm doing? Slowly lean into it instead of just sticking with one thing that gets me money but I don't really want to do for the rest of my life. And I think that's very useful to think about, for especially in college, because the younger you start, realistically, the more skills you're going to have by the time everybody else is starting. Say you start building these skills in college, like something like video editing, something simple that you can learn in your free time, which I'm trying to learn by doing these videos, which there's not much to edit if I don't obviously cut much, but it's very useful to learn it early rather than later, because the earlier you learn it, obviously the earlier you can apply it, and then you're earning more before people have even started to earn anything, and it's a massive boost in what you want to do. So on that topic of like earning money whilst you're in college, if you're in a situation where you're scared financially about whether people are going to be able to provide for you before you finish college, then it's probably laying on your mind a lot about how you're going to earn money before the worst happens. And it's very important to know that the more you worry about something, the less likely you probably are to do it. If you're constantly panicking about, oh my god, I need to earn money, or like, oh my god, I need to get this done, you're more likely to either rush it, procrastinate it so much that you then have one day to do it if it's like an assignment, or if it's money, you procrastinate it so much you're then in a much harder position to earn it, and you don't want to do anything to do it. So worrying yourself about stuff like that is not going to help in any situation at all. and I think that's very important to know for our age. And furthermore, if you're worried about like where to start in terms of doing any type of thing for a business or anything like that, I guarantee you it's not as hard as you may think it is. There's so many opportunities that are like fly past your head every day. Like for example, this won't really apply to many people, but my barber does obviously videos to grow his business. I participate in those videos because it gets me cheaper haircuts, so you know. He's looking for video editors or someone to help him vlog or anything like that, and he told me about that last time I got my haircut, and it made me think, you know, why don't I just do that? So I messaged him literally today, and I think it's a perfect start. So pretty much it's as simple as that. If you have someone you know who owns a type of business, it could literally be a family member. If one of your family members owns a business, or one of your friends is starting up a business, or anything like that, a lot of the time it can be like your barber. Everyone wants a service that is going to make their business grow and get more money. That is the goal of a business. So just doing something small, like someone you know who owns a business, give them a shout, ask if there's something in particular they need to grow their business. If it's something you can do, then just try to get it done. It's probably the best thing I can think of in terms of where to start, instead of trying to cold call or message a bunch of places. That also, I mean, messaging a bunch of places also does work if you don't have that option of like, you don't know anyone who owns a business or is trying to grow a business in a certain way that you can provide for. Messaging random smaller businesses is definitely also a viable option. It's not gonna, you know, you're destined to probably get denied 90% of the time, maybe even 99% of the time, but there will be that one person who answers you, and after that one person answers you, it's then your responsibility to get that work done, because you know you now have, like, you're being paid to do this work. It's not something that's like, you know, I could do it, I could not do it. It's almost like your job. And after you provide that service, you then learn from your mistake, and then the next time you do it better, and you just grow from there on. And that's the whole point, is trial and error until you get it right. And I think it's very important to know, and that applies to a lot more than just starting a little skill that you can provide to someone. That applies with learning about yourself, it applies with college or school, it applies with like revision, it applies with day-to-day work, it applies with smaller things like cooking, household chores, or anything like that. Learning from yourself is the best thing you can pick up whilst you're young, because you are bound to make mistakes in your life. It's going to happen, and you can run away from them as much as you want, but if you teach yourself to learn from them, you are going to excel far more than the people who do run away from them. And yeah, again, to avoid the video being 2 hours long, I'm going to stop it there. Yeah, it's going to be my goal for the next like few videos, where I just have these 10-15 minute videos exploring like base kind of subjects and something that may help someone who's thinking about like any topic that I mention. I want to do one about acne, but it's quite difficult to talk about considering there's so many different factors about it. And to talk about, you have to go quite into detail before it actually gets useful. So if I should do one about acne, let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching again, and hopefully I'll drop another one soon.